Marcus Johnson stared at the business card in his trembling hands, the embossed gold letters catching the morning light streaming through his apartment window. 12 hours ago, he'd been mopping floors in an empty office building at 2 a.m., wondering how he'd make rent this month. Now, the CEO of Horizon Enterprises, a man worth billions, was waiting to meet him for breakfast. All because Marcus had done something during his night shift that no one else would have done. Something that would change not just his life, but the lives of countless others. If you're wondering how a janitor with $3 in his bank account ended up face-to-face with one of the richest people in the country, stick around. And if this story moves you even half as much as it moved me while researching it, please hit that like button and subscribe to hear more incredible true stories of ordinary people facing extraordinary circumstances. The eviction notice had been taped to Marcus Johnson's door for 3 days now. He couldn't bear to take it down, that would make it real. Instead, he walked past it each evening when he returned home from picking up his daughter, Zoe, from the after-school program. The bright orange paper seemed to glow in the dim hallway of their apartment building, a beacon announcing his failure to the world. "Daddy, why is that paper still there?" 7-year-old Zoe asked, her backpack hanging off one shoulder as she pointed to the notice. Marcus forced a smile. "Just some building stuff, baby. Nothing for you to worry about." But there was plenty to worry about. Since Alicia had died 2 years ago, breast cancer that moved too fast for anyone to process, Marcus had been barely keeping their heads above water. His job at the warehouse had paid the bills, but just barely. Then came the layoffs. 3 months of unemployment had drained what little savings they had. The past due bills were stacking up on the kitchen counter, and now this, 30 days to pay or get out. That evening, after tucking Zoe into bed with promises that everything would be okay, Marcus sat at their small kitchen table, head in his hands. The apartment was quiet except for the occasional hum of the refrigerator, the same refrigerator that currently held half a gallon of milk, some bologna, and not much else. His phone buzzed with a text from his sister, Tanya. "Any luck with the job search today?" Marcus stared at the message. He'd applied to 17 places this week alone. Nothing. He was about to respond when another text came through. "My friend Darlene says they need someone at Oakwood Tower. Night janitor. Nobody wants it because of the hours, but it pays decent. Want her number? Night janitor." The thought of working all night and then trying to be there for Zoe during the day made his stomach knot. But the eviction notice glowed in his mind. What choice did he have? "Yes. Please. Thank you," he typed back. The Oakwood Tower stood 42 stories high in the heart of downtown, a gleaming monument to corporate success. During the day, it bustled with executives, assistants, and ambitious young professionals. At night, it transformed into a cavernous, empty space that echoed with every footstep. "Nobody lasts in this position," said Harold, the day shift supervisor, as he handed Marcus his keys and ID badge. "Last 3 guys quit within a month. Building's too big, too empty. Creeps people out." "I'll be fine," Marcus said, though his voice betrayed his uncertainty. Harold shrugged. "Your shift is 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You're responsible for floors 30 through 42. That's executive territory, CEO's office is on 42. They're particular about how things look up there." "Got it." "One more thing," Harold added, his expression serious. "You don't go into any offices unless they're unlocked. You don't touch papers on desks. You don't look at computer screens. Confidentiality is a big deal here. Understand?" Marcus nodded. "I'm just here to clean." "Good man. See you in the morning." As Harold's footsteps faded toward the exit, Marcus stood alone in the massive lobby, the silence pressing in around him. He thought of Zoe, sleeping at Tanya's apartment. He thought of the eviction notice. He thought of Alicia, and what she would say if she could see him now. "We do what we have to do," he whispered to himself, echoing her favorite phrase. Then he pushed his cart toward the service elevator and pressed the button for the 30th floor. The first few nights were the hardest. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the occasional hum of the heating system or the distant sound of traffic far below. Marcus developed a routine: vacuum the carpeted hallways, clean the glass conference room walls, empty trash bins, sanitize bathrooms. The work wasn't difficult, just lonely. To pass the time, he started talking to Alicia as if she were there with him. "You should see this place, babe," he said as he polished the marble countertops in the executive bathroom on the 40th floor. "Faucets probably cost more than our car." He told her about Zoe's school project, about the eviction notice, about his fears for the future. Sometimes, in the quiet of the empty building, he could almost hear her responses. By the end of his first week, Marcus had settled into the job. He'd even started to appreciate the solitude. During the day, he slept while Zoe was at school, then spent the afternoon and early evening with her before Tanya came to stay the night. It wasn't ideal, but it was working. The first paycheck had been enough to buy groceries and put a small dent in the back rent. Then came the night that changed everything. It was just past 2 a.m. on a Tuesday when Marcus reached the 42nd floor, the CEO's domain. He'd saved this floor for last, as he always did. Something about cleaning the office of a man who made more money in an hour than Marcus made in a year felt intimidating. The elevator doors opened to reveal a reception area with sleek, modern furniture and a stunning view of the city lights. Beyond that was a set of double doors that led to the CEO's office. As usual, Marcus began with the reception area, carefully dusting the glass coffee table and vacuuming the plush carpet. He was about to move on to the bathrooms when he noticed something unusual. The CEO's office doors were ajar, and a light was on inside. Harold's warning echoed in his mind: "You don't go into any offices unless they're unlocked." Well, technically, this one was unlocked. After a moment's hesitation, Marcus approached the doors and peered inside. The office was massive, with floor-to-ceiling windows offering a panoramic view of the city. A large desk dominated one end of the room, and sitting at it, head down on a stack of papers, was a man in an expensive suit. Marcus froze. Was the CEO working late? Should he come back later? But as he watched, he realized the man wasn't moving. His breathing was deep and regular. He was asleep. Carefully, Marcus backed away. He'd clean the rest of the floor and come back later. But as he turned to go, he heard a sound that made him stop, a soft moan, followed by what sounded like a gasp of pain. Marcus turned back. The man at the desk had shifted, his face now visible in profile. His features were contorted, his breathing labored. Something wasn't right. Against his better judgment, Marcus entered the office. "Sir," he called softly. "Are you okay?" No response. Marcus moved closer. The man's face was pale and sweaty, his breathing increasingly erratic. On the desk next to him was an orange prescription bottle, its cap off, a few pills scattered nearby. Marcus's heart raced. He recognized the signs from when Alicia had been sick. This man was in medical distress. He reached for his phone to call 911, but then hesitated. What if this was nothing? What if he was overreacting and got fired for entering the CEO's office without permission? The man moaned again, this time followed by a slurred word that sounded like "help." That decided it. Marcus dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? I think someone's having a medical emergency, Marcus said, his voice steady despite his racing heart. I'm at Oakwood Tower, 42nd floor. The CEO, I think it's the CEO, he's unresponsive, breathing irregularly. There are prescription pills on his desk. Is he conscious? Marcus leaned closer. Sir? Can you hear me? The man's eyelids fluttered but didn't open. Barely.